Yeah, I wish I had time to tell y'all all the things that I really want to tell y'all from the heart, and to remind you of all the things over the last year that this channel has talked about, that this bit of information here that I'm revealing now is just so well supporting. It's just so incredible. You know, of course everybody's aware that what I would consider the absolute mainstream Christian population here on YouTube has rallied against me, and it caused a lot of slander. And you know, my human side at this point would want to say a lot of stuff to you, and you know, maybe flaunt ego and say, look at this, and now you're so wrong, and you've been telling me all this, and you know, that's not what's going to happen. I think that it's just evident that if anybody is truly intently searching for the truth, I think that you can see that something of that nature is taking place here. Okay? It's just dependent upon your recognition, your capacity of how much of it you're going to be able to actualize or visualize, basically understand. So, you know, at this point, I really do hope that those that watch in secret, or those that are unfamiliar to the channel, are really aware of what you're seeing take place and what's going to continue to take place. Now, of course, there's a greater depth of detail here that I'm going to be able to go into, because we're going to have to keep it on this singular path of understanding as it relates to these personality identities between Lucifer and that of the Almighty Jesus Christ, the creator of all that is, and even the creator of the Most Highs themselves, the creator of Lucifer, the creator of the devil. But remember, as I cite Ezekiel 28, they were created perfect in the beginning until iniquity was found within them, and that's because they had free will also. So God has even given these high spirit beings the power to choose, and unfortunately they had a lot of authority, and one of these, with a whole bunch of authority, did choose the other way. He chose the path of destruction, in which for him was his personal aggrandizement, as he would see it, his personal perfection, and he tried to bring it about not in its proper season. It wasn't to say that the Father was not going to offer Lucifer some form of inheritance of this kingdom, of which he was. The Father just reveals that he wanted it too early, and that his impatience led to his disdain, and then this disdain led to his non-belief, because as I've said before, Lucifer could only recognize Jesus Christ as a representation of the perfect Father in paradise. Lucifer's never seen the face of God. None of these beings around here, of these other spirit beings, it ain't just us, friends, but it's Jesus Christ, which is the manifestation to these lower levels of dimensionality. It's the Father's wisdom. Jesus is the Father. It's just that portion of the Father's personality which has been toned down to the material in lesser spiritual levels of creation. Because, of course, Lucifer is not of the highest levels, as you're seeing here, as you're beginning to see, because Lucifer wants to be like what? He wants to be like the Most High, okay? And that's this, okay? For he that is higher than the highest regardeth. That's the Most High. So Lucifer is not even as high as the Most High at this point. So Lucifer is not as all-powerful as he would have you believe. He just had an incredible amount of spiritual administrative authority over this portion of our universe, and he used that against us. And of course, that's why Christ entered into the scene, into this physical form, and overcame him as a physical being, just like we ourselves are, guided by his indwelling spirit, the indwelling spirit of Jesus Christ. So Lucifer is not even as high as the Most Highs, because he wants to be like them. And then we find out that there are higher than they. Higher than they. We're going to have to take multiple videos to begin to explain the depth of this. As I said, we're not going to go into the full depth, but we're going to go a lot further, and we're going to end up here in Daniel as it relates. I'll be back.